So think of your cues as just a reflection of the training that you've put into that dog. And you can say, no, Susan, you don't get it. All of my dogs understand, but this one, he's different. He's stubborn, he's stupid, he's whatever you want to fill in the blank. Your dog, no matter if he's a different breed than all your other dogs, or you got him as an older dog, or he had the chance to learn not to listen, that dog is a reflection of your ability to train dogs like that one. Okay? So the mantra fits for everybody. Your dog's ability to perform a cue in the face of competing reinforcement value. So sure, maybe you can bet $100,000 on your dog will sit when the fridge door is open and you're holding out a cheese slice or cheese stick. Maybe you can bet $100,000 there because the competing values for your dog's attention are pretty low. But what about when your dog is chasing a deer out in the woods? Is that a $100,000 recall that you'd be willing to bet $100,000? I tell you, I'd still bet $100,000 of that 9 times out of 10 at a minimum. And I'd like to think 10 times my dogs are coming. My dogs are coming. So how do we get your dogs to have those $100,000 behaviors? Well, let's peel it back and think about how those behaviors were trained. First of all, was there some consistency? I got to tell you, I was watching a YouTube video, and I probably shouldn't. I only spent a couple of minutes there, and I saw the YouTuber say, we're going to teach your dog to sit, stay. And he had this puppy, didn't know anything, and he told the dog to sit, stay, and put his big hand in front of his face. He gave him a couple cookies for that. He said, okay. The dog didn't release, so he said, come on, buddy, got him out of the sit, told him again, sit, stay. And the dog lied down. He said, that's okay, gave him a cookie for that. And I'm like, how's a dog going to learn what is a down and what is a sit if you're rewarding both? So a couple things to be learned from this. Number one, yes, you have to be consistent with what the cues mean. Number two, don't waste your time watching dog trainers on social media just because they have a lot of followers. That doesn't mean they really understand how to train dogs. Please. Okay, I digress. So how consistent are you with how you trained it and how you reinforced it? So if you ask a dog to sit and they lie down, is that okay? If it is, then you've got to understand you're teaching your dog that things that you've put value in don't matter all the time. Just write down, like you've got a pen and paper handy. If you're driving, that's okay. Do this when you get home. Make a list of all the cues you use regularly with your dog. If you're a sports person listening to this, write down all the cues that you use that you expect your dog to understand. When I say seesaw, I expect you to run up the seesaw, get into position, hold position, wait for release. What does it mean? Write that down. And then you can write another column. What does your dog think it means? And be honest. And if those two things aren't the same, let's dig a little deeper and find out how you trained it. So the first thing that is a big bugaboo with training is something called overshadowing. And it's when a lot of people believe they've trained something, but they don't recognize the influence of their body or maybe training props on the behavior. So take this, I'll call it a 5P test. Take any one of your cues and you're going to try 5 positions. Does your dog respond the first time? Are they $100,000 behaviors or are they loony behaviors? So it could be you standing up. You're going to stand perfectly still. Pretend there's a bolt going from the top of your head through your feet. You're not going to lean. You're going to stand still. You're going to have your head in line with your spine, hands at your sides, and you're going to give your dogs the cue to sit and then the cue to down. All right? Now, you really want to get funky with this, close your eyes. You can put the video camera on, but make sure your eyes aren't telling them anything either, okay? A lot of dogs won't do these simple behaviors unless the owners are flipping up their hands or putting their hands down or leaning into them or, getting gruffer with their voice. Is there been any overshadowing? 5 Ps. Standing still is one. Next one, jumping jacks. Ask for the simple behaviors. Next one, lying down. Will your dog do those behaviors while you're lying down? Next one, try it with you in another room. And you're going to say, well, I don't care if my dog does a down when I ask them to from the living room. And and they're in my bedroom. But what about when your dog's running across the park? Do you care then? Because it's just distance work. It's just they can't see you. So just give that one a try. That's position number 4. And finally, you're going to get your dog in a place where you can run away, and you're going to run away from them and ask them to do that cue. So has there been overshadowing of your body position? That's just one simple thing. Those of you who are doing a sport, there are other things to consider, and that is the closeness to you, how far away you are. Are you still using props at home like gates or wires to get behaviors? Okay, the next thing I want you to consider is the rhythm of the behaviors. So most people ask the dog to sit when they're already standing. Now, your dog is demonstrating, I can go from a standing position to a sit. And then you might ask the dog to down, and they'll demonstrate, I can go from a sit to a down. But let's try it in reverse. I want you to ask your dogs to down and then sit from that 5P test. If you do this, you're really creating a greater layer of understanding of those 2 cues. Sit means sit from any position. Down means down from any position.